Un, dos, tres.
Next up we have Soraya Sobradad.
Hey, Soraya Sobradad's cooking show for Thanksgiving, y'all. Come on in. My name is the super sexy, super fabulous, and super desirable Soraya Sobradad. Entra a mi cocina, honey. Welcome to another segment of Soraya Sobradad's Fierce Cooking Show. It's Thanksgiving Eve in real time. I don't know how many women actually cook with their favorite little black slinky dress and fishnet stockings, darling, but Soraya Sobradad for Thanksgiving is, okay? Because it's all about being fierce, being sexy, and you know, honey, you have to always have your man in mind, you know what I mean? Like when he comes home, honey, like my cameraman, he's not my man, and when he came, I was ready, honey, and looking fierce. Hello. Okay, so here we go with the recipe. What I'm gonna do is my whole wheat stuffing. What am I calling this recipe? Soraya Sobradad's soulful slamming whole wheat ecstasy stuffing. How's that? It's gonna be healthier this year than other years. So we're gonna season the whole wheat stuffing made from scratch with turkey sausage instead of the sage pork sausage, okay? Which it's delicious with the sage pork sausage, but so much fat in that pork sausage. And honey, you know, we gotta stay healthy and stay fierce. So what we're gonna do is start with a little list of the ingredients. Now, you see I'm taking the turkey sausage out of the freezer, and the reason for that is because it's easier to cut the sausage in pieces when the sausage is a little frozen. Not totally frozen, because it's gonna be very hard. And I'm gonna have to get a real man here to help me cut the sausage, because it'll be brick hard, the way I like my men. Hello. But it's just slightly frozen. We have 2 packages. I like the Shady Brook Farms. For this recipe, we're not using the hot. I love hot sausage, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna try to keep this recipe clean. I'm gonna go with the sweet sausage. The sausage is here. Okay, I use 9 sausages, okay? We're going to turn on the heat, hello. And we're gonna saute the meat. We're gonna use butter, of course. I wanna use 1.5 sticks. I want to go low fat, but then I want to have a really good flavor of butter, because that's what makes the stuffing really good. I don't need to put 2 sticks or 3 sticks in here, but I'm definitely going to put at least 1.5. Alright, and this is turkey sausage, very lean, low in fat, not pork. I eat this sausage all the time. I love it, actually. So, Feliz Dia de las Gracias for those of you who speak Español como yo. So, alright, now we added some chopped onion. And there's 2 large Spanish onions, honey, that I'm using with the butter and the onions. You want to come here and just take a look at the pot, Mr. Cameraman Boris? Here we have the turkey sausage, butter, and onions. And I'm gonna go by eye, as I usually do, as far as how much to add. Chopped celery, of course. This is what makes a stuffing recipe: is the celery and the onions, and in my opinion, butter, butter. And fat, but we don't want to use pork fat again. You just don't want to use that this year. Because, honey, you see my waistline, darling? Do you see this waistline? Honey, pork will just ruin it, okay? So we want to keep the waistline beautiful, trim and slim, but yet enjoy a really good recipe, really good food. Because you can do it. You can cook healthy. You know, it can be tasty. Like that Ratatouille movie. Anyone can cook, honey. You can cook good, and you can cook low fat. Stir that up. That's why I usually don't wear this long wig, everybody, because the long wig is good for performing, or for cooking, but because it's a holiday, I'm doing something really special. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover that just to get all of this simmer down. You can take a look in the pot. That's where the action is right now. We have the meat that's cooking, not browning yet. We have the onions and the celery that's, you know, getting soft. Now what this pot has is 9 cut up lean turkey sausage, sweet, about 1.5 large onions cut, your celery cut up. I'm going to lower the heat because I think it's really bubbling up. So now what we're going to do is get into our powdered spices. Okay, and I've mentioned to you before about organic turmeric. This is what's going to give the stuffing a really golden color without an artificial coloring. Okay, it's natural, and turmeric is known to be an additive to prevent Alzheimer's. So, you know, I'm a strong advocate of natural herbs and spices, and then if there's a health benefit like that one, I'm going to go for it. Okay, We're going to go with a little bit of the Bell's seasoning. This is the salt-free. We're just gonna add a tad. Well, what's a tad? Maybe, this is a big recipe, so we're gonna have like 1.5 tablespoons, okay? That has sage, that has rosemary, it's got all those great spices that will make this a really fabulous stuffing. So that was about 1.5 tablespoons of the Bell salt-free poultry seasoning, and about a tablespoon of turmeric. Okay, just because I know some of you don't want to hear measurements. It's important so you can replicate this recipe at home. That's the reason why I'm doing this show. Okay, so you can learn some of this and do it at home. And honey, satisfy your man with some real flavor, honey. Nothing artificial. This is not a 99-cent box of stovetop stuffing, okay? Which is delicious, but it's got all artificial MSG, all this madness to make it taste good. And it does taste good, but it's white flour, MSG, sugar, whole dozen of ingredients. Let's stir up the spices. I don't want to add any more butter. I think it's going to be fine, okay? Again, this is my first recipe of low fat. The breads that I use, I think you should know, is this brand here. I don't know if I'm gonna say it right. Mestemaka. They have an excellent line of different breads that are like really freaking high fiber. Like, it's like a brick, a dumb brick. Like those conservatives that don't want gay marriage, honey, because I believe in marriage equality, okay? It's time. Hello. But what's good about this bread, and that's not good about the conservatives that don't want gay marriage equality, is that this bread has whole kernel rye, water, wholemeal rye flour, salt, oat fiber, malt extract. It's got a little bit of yeast. Yeast is the last ingredient. Very little artificial additives. And you notice there was no sugar, no salt in that. So it's a nice, thick, hearty bread. I balanced the recipe with a light bread. For this recipe I used the Pepperidge Farm light style, but this has twice the fiber. You know, I'm a fiber queen. And it's all about this recipe. That's some hunk trying to call me, honey. It's about this recipe being high fiber and healthy and delicious. So I cubed up the bread, seasoned it, because I like to have the seasons roasted up. It's nice and brown, nice and beautiful, like me and the men that I love. And the cameraman's nice and brown too. And I love him, he's a great guy. So this is what we do. We now add the cubed, seasoned bread to the stuffing. Oh, this is going to be a lot. More than what I anticipated. Oh my goodness, is it all gonna fit? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I put it all in there anyway. How beautiful. Oh my goodness, darling. This is another product that I really love. Kitchen Basics chicken cooking stock. Okay? Let's look at the ingredients here. Chicken stock, chicken flavor, sea salt, honey, vegetable stocks, which is carrot, onion, mushroom, celery, bay, thyme, and pepper. Fabulous. No fat. And I've used this in so many recipes. I think I'm gonna add like 1.5 containers of this. This is gonna moisten it all up. Now we're gonna mix this all up. And the one thing that I didn't add, that I'll add last, is the adobo. I just wanna make sure that on the salt content, that it comes out perfect. So I wanna kind of do a taste test as we go along. Cameraman, you want to come a little closer so we can just take a look at all this beautiful, lovely food that's being mixed around. What we're trying to do here is get the bread mixture, of course, to mix with all the rest of the ingredients, but we want to kind of check the consistency. Like some people like a firmer stuffing where the bread looks cubed and is not as moist or, God forbid, mushy. I and Junita Perez, we love it mushy. Cameraman, take a look. I am a diva that does not wear an apron in the kitchen. My first couple of shows, yes, so no apron. No apron. Okay, back to the pot. We're gonna need more liquid. Now for some people this would be fine. They would be like, you know what, I like it with the bread is cubed. No, I like it really moist. So we're probably gonna use 1.5 of these. So we added some more liquid. This part is to your liking, your preference of how moist you like your stuffing. I like my stuffing, like I said, you know, really moist. I still think it needs a little bit more liquid. And since we're gonna add more liquid and we're gonna be stirring, another ingredient, raisins. Raisins in this recipe is so fabulous. You know why? Because you've got the meat flavor, which is a little spicy, Italian sausage, and then you have the raisins. It's like sweet and like spicy. It's like raisin bread, you know, in a way, but with meat. And God knows I love meat, honey. Love meat. This is about 2 cups of raisins. And sometimes the golden raisins are good to give it a contrast and color, but I chose regular raisins today. So a little bit more liquid. So we're going to like 1.5 to 1 3/4 of the chicken stock, okay everybody? So make a note of that. I'm gonna pump up the volume here, and I mean heat. And I'll keep putting the pot holder over here. And then we're gonna stir it up. And then we're gonna give it a little taste test to see if we need to add any adobo, which I believe we're gonna, because it's a big recipe. It's truly a labor of love. And now we're gonna give it a little taste test. And I think it's gonna need the adobo. I really do. Pretty good without it. That's pretty good that it doesn't have the adobo. But you know what? We're going with the 2 sticks of butter. It needs a little bit more kick. I'm sorry. Try to do this as low fat as possible. And I think actually I'm gonna have to go with the 3 sticks because the butter and the fat brings it together. Okay. So this is still gonna be low fat. We're not using that pork sausage, okay? Remember, look at this big pot with 3 sticks of butter. It's not a bad deal. And this is gonna melt down and cook up a little bit, and then we'll be back. Hey darlings, we're back. We're almost done with this recipe. So we have 3 sticks of butter in this recipe. And myself and the cameraman, while the butter was melting up, we gave it a little taste test. It does taste really good. So kudos for the turkey sausage. Kudos that this whole pot has 3 sticks of butter. I didn't add any olive oil or anything else like that. And it still tastes really good. And it tastes good like this without it even being roasted in the oven. So hello. Soraya Sobrada is fierce again. Hello. I was telling the cameraman, he goes, this could taste better than that while we were on break. I'm like, yes, with the sage sausage? Oh, that just brings, and of course, anything with fat tastes better, right? Hello. Let me think. All the men that I've dated and had sex with had fat, and they tasted lovely, honey. When they're too lean, they're mean. I love my men gentle, honey. So a little bit of fat is okay. It kind of smooths things out, you know, and it just tastes dreamy and creamy. Okay, honey, back to reality in the kitchen. And you could do the taste test when you cook it. Taste it and see, does it need salt? Does it need more sage? Does it need more butter? You know, you have your preferences. Now, the cameraman, Boris Pinto, is a little hungry. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get him started. I live for these little pots. And this is gonna cook really good for this serving for him. Yeah. So, we're just doing like that. Okay, this is gonna be for him. I don't know what I'm gonna eat for dinner. I know I'm hungry too. But maybe I'll try just a tad, just a little bit. Cover it, okay? And we put it in the oven. I put it covered. Now, depending on the quantity that you're gonna cook up, depends, of course, the time that you're gonna have it in the oven. Excuse me. I'm gonna give it 20 minutes. And then, when the 20 minutes is up, I'm gonna let the top brown for 5. Because what I like to do is put them in containers like this. As I go to visit relatives and stuff, I bring a little tray of this, which they totally love. We'll be back in a half hour when the serving for Mr. Boris Pinto will be done and roasted. And we can do a final taste test and then say, sera sera. You know, like the stuffing is done, it tastes fabulous. It's done, the recipe is done. This is a hot kitchen. Like I've said, mi estufa es muy caliente. And cooking like this, darling, alright, is fierce. Again, it's a labor of love. And it's Thanksgiving. So we have to like treat ourselves to really good food, not overeat, have a civil time with the family, make good decisions about what we're gonna eat, what we're gonna drink, who we're gonna spend it with loving family and friends. Yeah, there's stuff going on out there that's kind of crazy right now. We're in very weird times, but let's be grateful for our health, that we're alive, because so many of us are not here today. I know a lot of my friends aren't here anymore. And I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful to be cooking for you all, so grateful to have this fabulous outfit and this whole vibe of my cooking shows. I'm really glad all of you are here and enjoying this. And speaking of enjoying, the cameraman is, as usual, at the end. We always do this. Boris Pinto. Now, Boris, as usual, I'm hot, so the food is hot. So be careful. Don't burn yourself. Proceed with caution, as I tell all the men that I date. You get 2 for the price of 1 when you date Soraya, honey, if you know what I mean.
Very good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? It's not just because Soraya made it.
No.
Okay, good. I know you'll be honest with me. That's one thing. You're very... No, you can stick your spoon right back in that pot there because you're the one that's going to eat it. Because I'm waiting till tomorrow. But you know what? Lie. I'm going to taste it though. Not the pot. Take a look at me. Now, usually I like to brown this a little bit more, but you know, we're kind of pressed for time. Wow, Boris, we did it. Boris, that's really good. That's really good without the sage or sausage. Wow, nice. Perfect. Perfect. What that needs is a big fat turkey leg. Hopefully somebody I know. But then again, I don't take turkeys. Used to. Thank you so much for being with me today. Happy Thanksgiving and a prosperous and wonderful New Year and a safe and fabulous holiday. Thank you. Bye. Hey, my darlings. My name is the super sexy, super fabulous, and much more desirable Soraya Sobita. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my show. Holas, my loves. Oh my goodness, we're here together. Now, today I am making a stuffing recipe. I was really inspired by an urging of Junito Perez. Soraya, the first time I had stuffing, I remember, it was my grandmother's stuffing. And it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving or something. It was a family gathering. I was a little boy. I don't remember how old I was. It was the first time I ever had stuffing and I loved it and I was hooked ever since. And it's true. But he says to me, but Soraya, that had the taste of liver in it. And I'm like, okay. And so I did some research for him. He goes, Soraya, I really want that stuffing for Thanksgiving. I want my grandmother, Mama Perez from the Bronx. I want her stuffing. So I said, okay. And he goes, Soraya, I know it had white bread. I know it had butter. So I said, Junito, don't worry about it. You know me, honey. I'm Soraya Sobita. I got your back, honey. I'm going to flip that stuffing recipe and I'm going to make it healthier. And it's going to have all the flavor that you had that time when you were a little boy. So I did some research. The stuffing is actually a chicken liver stuffing recipe. Sorry, you know, I always do this. It's a chicken livers. Little chicken patties. So we're doing that. That's the recipe. Is Mama Perez from the Bronx liver stuffing. So I know that Junito Perez misses his grandmother so much. He misses his mom. He misses Aidita. He misses Iris. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He misses. But honey, he's not going to miss this recipe any longer because I'm going to flip it for him now. I'm going to go through the ingredients really quick. We're using 10 ounces of chicken livers. We're using a cup of celery. We're using 1.5 cups of onion. We're using 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to have 4 ounces of Earth Balance buttery spread. Delicious. It's like me. I give you the illusion of diva, and I am a diva, honey. But this Earth Balance, honey, gives you the illusion that it's butter, and it's not butter. It has no dairy. It's vegan. It's fabulous. So we're using 4 ounces of that. We're using 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal for the fiber. We're using 1/8 cup of non-dairy creamer because I want to give it some creaminess. We're using some salt. We're using some sage. We're using some thyme. We're using some rosemary. We're using chicken stock. We're using salt and pepper, some cooking spray. We're using a whole loaf of whole wheat Weight Watchers light bread that's cubed and then toasted in the oven, okay? And basically this recipe is very easy. What you'll need is a saucepan. What you'll need is a presser. You're going to need measuring cups, measuring spoons. You will need a food processor for the liver because we're going to go through stages of that. And also this recipe takes 2 eggs as well. So now we're going to go to the stove and we're going to start preparing the recipe. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what I have here is 2 tablespoons of Earth Balance, which I've just added to this lovely Cuisinart skillet. Going to add, say, about 2 teaspoons of fresh rosemary that's chopped. adding the 2 cloves of garlic. This recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of salt. We're also going to add half a teaspoon of pepper, of ground sage, another half is 1, and thyme. I have plenty of thyme. There's 1 teaspoon of thyme. The earth balance, I'm going to add another tablespoon. So that was a total of 3 tablespoons thus far. I'm going to give this another 2 minutes. Okay, so the 2 minutes are up approximately. Now I'm getting some brown onion, which is great, but I don't want it to overcook because this is going to bake as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn off the heat. We're going to get the saucepan here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer, because we're going to use the same skillet now to work the liver. You like how I say that, right? Work the livers. The rest of the butter, I'm going to add her. Now what we want to do here for 2 minutes, we want to get the chicken livers to cook, not fully. Okay, I'm going to bring it back up now. As you can see, she's coming along nicely. Okay, honey. So the livers are done. They're cooked with a little medium rare in center, and that's great. That's what we want. We're going to take the livers, put them over to the side, to the liquid that's here. We're going to take a cup of stock. So we just got that right. Ooh, that's fabulous. We're going to put the chicken livers in the food processor with the stock. I was on the skillet that I showed you, and we're going to blend that up. Okay, so now we have our chicken livers here. We're going to put the chicken livers in our food processor, darling. I'm going to take, I don't think I'm going to use all of the liquid, but we're going to use some of the liquid here. The rest of the liquid is definitely going to go to the stuffing, of course. This has so much great flavor. So what we're going to do here is just, we don't want to get it too puree. We want to get some chunks in there now. Just pulse it. That looks fantastic. You can see now that the texture of the liver is small pieces, a little chunky, but and a little bit puree. So I didn't want to get it like a pate, so it can work really well with the stuffing. That's the consistency that you want right there. You see that? Hi. So we have 2 eggs. We're going to whisk them, and then we're going to add the other ingredients. We're going to go to the stove. And then we're going to bake the stuffing in my oven central. What I'm going to do first is add the livers. The livers just came out so beautiful. You see the consistency? We're going to add the onions and celery that we had to the side there. And then also we're going to add the stock that we had before from the liver and the chicken stock. And you can see that. And now I'm going to add the eggs that we whisked to the mix. I'm going to stir that up. Now, the non-dairy creamer was 1/8 cup. I want to give it some creaminess without giving it milk. Stir that in. Excellent. You see how creamy that is already? It's beautiful. That's a 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal. I just want that to bubble up just a little bit. Okay, honey, she is bubbling. Good. Nice. Now I want to lower her. So we have the cube bread here. It's toasted. We're going to add her. Good. And we're also going to add stock. And I love my stuffing moist. I love my stuffing wet, darling. Wet and wild like Soraya, honey, like me. Some more chicken stock. And now since we got the livers and the egg and all that to boil up and get really hot, I think just a little bit more liquid. That's like about a 1/4 cup. I think now we're cooking. I think that's good. And now I'm going to taste her and see how she is. I have her to the moisture that I wanted it. I taste the stuffing. I added a little bit of adobo. It needed, honey, that Latin flavor, darling. I mixed it up and it tastes delicious. So now I'm going to get the tray of the cuisine and then place her into the oven central. And you'll see. You'll see. I'll put some cooking spray on there just to make sure it doesn't stick. And we're going to spoon the mixture. Yes, honey. She's just so gorgeous. Here we are. We're placing the tray. I have the button here for the top heat on. I have her at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Hi, darlings. We're almost done. We have about another 10 minutes. The stuffing is baking. Yes. And I'm baking too, honey. I'm hot, darling. So sexy in this dress. I love this dress. It's from Kmart. It's the Sofia Vergara line. Do you think it fits nice on me? I feel fierce in it. But anyway, we have about another 10 minutes, and then we'll have a little taste test. Okay, so we'll be back. Yes, darlings. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Did you hear that? The timer went off. Let's take a look. Oh, she's so beautiful. Darling, she is cooled down, honey. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Can you see? She's gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 honey. Oh, look at that, honey. She's slicing like a boy. This is Ana Perez's from the Bronx liver stuffing, okay, for Thanksgiving. Oh. That's amazing. There's something about when you make stuffing with like white bread or a bread that's not totally high fiber, because what happens is that it's spongy. It's different. I mean, I love whole grain bread for stuffings, and I've yet to try a gluten-free bread for stuffing. But there's something about, you know, these commercial breads that when you use them for stuffing, they just like, they bounce. They're like jiggly, like my tembleque. Oh my god. It's light. It's not greasy. It's fantastic. So try this recipe. And happy Thanksgiving again, and thank you for supporting my mission for healthy cooking. And welcome to Soraya Sobada's Here's Cooking Show. Bye. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Welcome to my show, honey. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. When you're feeling blue, you don't know what to do. Carrying such a heavy load, honey, feels like you're all alone. You need a new recipe, well, I'm the one to see. Tiny roads along you, wanna hear my song, so welcome to my show. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. My show is so hot, honey. The vegan meat, the gluten-free, the dairy-free.
Hey, darling.
No longer a man. No longer a man.
Bye. Take care. And there we have myself there at the barbecue grill, grilling. Yes, in my other life. My crazy cousin always getting in the way. But there I am at the grill with the food, honey. Could never miss out on the food, darling. Where there was food, I was there, honey. And if I was there, there was food. Or that meat. I don't miss that meat. Yes, I do, honey. I miss that meat. I'm looking for new meat now. Are you interested? Here I come. Look at me with that full face by the grill. And there's my grandmother, darling. I miss her so much. She told me when I had a boyfriend to come visit, and she'd make arroz con gandules and fried chicken. She was such a great cook. Mama, I miss you. And my crazy cousin Michael. I hated him because he had a tight little butt. I didn't. My grandfather. And there's my sister again, Marianne. And there's me trying to flex a muscle. You know, I was always trying to be all machito when I was younger. And then I found out I'm really not machito at all.